Okay, hey everybody. Well, good morning. Lot to accomplish today. Today is kind of a kind of a tough day. For you guys, actually. So the Careers in Photo class, I got this from this book. It's no longer in print, but if you can find it, let's get the autofocus on it. Come on, there it is. Right? If you can find it, I think it's worth it. Chuck Delaney is the author. And you can freeze frame, pause it, and get the ISBN number off of it. Okay? Yeah, he talks about film and everything in this book, so it's a little old, but the concepts in here don't change, okay? So, we have 16 questions to get through today. Now, normally when I'm in the classroom, we do this live. In other words, I speak the question, I write the essence of the question down on the board, and you answer it in real time. So this is kind of a gut response or a gut answer to this. I don't want you to think, for 5 or 10 minutes and write a response down. So kind of do this as we go. Now obviously you're going to have to pause because I'm just going to keep going with the questions on the video. So hit the pause button on the video and write your response, and then go to the next question and write your response, and go to the next question, write response, stuff like that. So I'll call out the questions, question 1, question 2, so you can keep track of where you are. If you need to stop halfway through and go to the bathroom or whatever, and then come back and finish them up, or do it the next day, that's fine too. Okay? So, let's go with the questions. Some of these are pretty easy to begin with, okay? How did you discover photography? It's really 17 questions. Sorry, my mistake. How did you discover photography? What led you to it? Was it an individual? Was it a family member? Was it a situation you were in? How did you discover photography? So that's kind of like question A. Okay. All right, so here we go with question 1. What things interest you that you know a lot about, right? Some examples are, well, I know a lot about photography, so that interests me, right? I know a lot about snow skiing, so that interests me, right? So what are things that interest you that you know a lot about? Okay, that's question 1. Okay, question 2. What things interest you that you know very little about? Okay? So, chemistry, wine, whatever, gardening, right? Those are some of mine, right? What things interest you that you know very little about? Okay? And kind of the third, number 3, on that triangle, if you will, what are things that don't interest you and you don't care about? Okay? So the author gives some examples, but it doesn't matter. Soap operas, right? I don't care about them and I'm not interested in them. Okay? So that's one for me. Okay? So it's important that we get to know yourself a little bit better. That's why we're doing these questions. Okay? So number 1, number 2, and number 3. Okay? All right, number 4 is a tough one. Number 4. What are the little things that aggravate you, and this is key, out of proportion? So what are your hot buttons? So somebody cut you off on the highway, do you go ballistic? Or do you just go, oh, they're an idiot, and get on with your day, right? Because that's the correct response, not the first one. The second one is the correct response, right? It's important that we understand who we are and how we respond to situations. So that's why that question. What are the little things that aggravate you out of proportion? So what are your hot button issues that you just go off on, right? Because you have to be, aware of those things so that you know they're there and so that you don't respond in that way, right? Getting high blood pressure is not good for you, right? Okay. Okay, number 5. What are the things you can't even think about that scare you or that you fear you cannot handle, right? You know, many of you know I was a fireman medic for years, so blood doesn't bother me. My own blood bothers me, but other people that are injured doesn't bother me a bit. So it's kind of a strange thing, right? I could stick a needle in somebody, that's fine, but stick a needle in me and I have to look away, right? So, you know, what things that you can't even think about that scare you or that you fear you cannot handle? Losing your spouse, losing family members, you know, things of that nature, okay? And number 6, I'm going to run out of fingers here in a second. Number 6, okay? This is kind of a tough one too. What is your opinion of yourself, right? And the danger is here is the extremes. Oh, I'm horrible. Oh, I'm okay, right? Because you're probably neither. I'm sure you're not horrible, but are you absolutely great and wonderful all the time? You know, the danger is here is the extremes, right? So, you know, we have to kind of see where we are. You know, so what is your opinion of yourself? You're a nice person. You handle things well. You're smart. Going to school, you must be fairly smart, right? Okay. Now this one's really tough. These all are. Number 7, we're on 7. 5 and 2 make 7. 5 and 2, 7. Okay. How do you think you appear to others? How do you think you appear to others? Okay. Now be careful with this one, right? Some people don't notice a thing. Now, if I came in with red hair to the classroom next week or on video next week, you would all notice it. But somebody that never met me and saw me with red hair would think that's normal, right? So be careful about labeling yourself too harshly. How do you think you appear to others? Okay? The great wedding photographer Monty Zucker said, in a group photo, the first person you look at is yourself, and if you look good, you like the photograph. Hey. That's pretty good. Okay, here's another one, number 8. So 5 and 3 make 8. 5 and 3 make 8. Okay, we're on question 8. How do you view others, right? How critical or how detailed, how do you view other people when you see them walking down the hall or in the store or wherever, right? When you're out and about, you know, how do you view others? Do you play a game? I wonder what they do, or I wonder who they are, or do you not care, right? How do you view others? Number 9, this is kind of a tough one as well. How does your mind work? How does your mind work? So how do you think about things? Are you a real detail-oriented person? Do you notice every little thing? Are you more a generalist? How do you process information? Do you like to get all the information first and then read about it and then study about it, then make a decision? You know, how does your mind work? How do you go about doing things? You know, are you a detail-oriented person? You like everything to be perfect? You know, if you set the table, it has to be just so. You know, are you a neat freak? Do you keep the house perfectly clean all the time? You know, how does your mind work? How do you go about processing things on a daily basis? Okay, so that's number 9. I got to take a short break here because I got to turn my tablet on because it's 10 o'clock and it's time for Zoom for this class. So hopefully some of you are checking in. Okay. Okay, hey, I'm back. So that was question 9, right? How does your mind work? Question number 10. What skills do you have and what skills do you lack? So we're on question 10. What skills do you have and what skills do you lack? Just make an honest list, that's all. If you're a creative person, which most of you are that are taking this class, what other areas of creativity are you involved with? Do you like to write? Do you like to draw? Do you sing? Do you play an instrument? Any other creative fields? You should look to companion those up together. You know, do you like music? Do you have really good ears? Can you listen really well? You know, what other creative areas do you have? Okay. Number 11, so 5, 10, 11. What would you like to do that you haven't done? And what do you currently do that you would like to do more of? So number 11 is kind of, you know, bucket list stuff. You know, what would you like to do that you haven't done? And what do you do that you'd like to do more of? Right? For me, that's, you know, that's pretty easy. You know, there's lots of places I want to go and things I want to see. One of the reasons I want to retire. And what do I want to do more of? Well, you guys all know I love to ski, so I'd like to be out west right now skiing. You know, it's pretty simple, okay? So, question 12 now. So 5, 10, 12. Question 12. What do you have to do now that you would like to be free from doing in the future? And everybody says pay rent. Okay, great. And then figure out how to own your own house and pay it off. Right? Okay, so stuff like that. What do you have to do now that you would like to be free from doing in the future? Okay? So that was question 12. What do you have to do now that you'd like to be free of doing in the future? Okay? And number 13. I can't do this with my hand. So 5, 10, 13. Question 13. What was the best assignment, not work assignment, but I mean not school assignment, although it could be. What was your best photo assignment or best photo thing you've done to date, right? What was the most fun? What was the most interesting? What was the most entertaining? What was the most technical, critical, anything? What is the best assignment or something that you have photographed? What was the best assignment or best job, photo job if you've had any? What was your best one so far? Okay? And then 14, so 5, 10, 14 is the opposite of that. You can kind of do these together, right? What was the worst assignment? It can be something I gave you to do, that's fine. What was the worst assignment or worst photograph or worst experience, photographically speaking, that you've had so far, okay? So what was your best and what was the worst? And then 15, so 5, 10, 15, question 15, okay? Kind of goes along with 13 and 14. List your top 5 favorite images that you've made to date so far. What are your top 5 favorite images that you have made or taken so far? What's your top 5, okay? And the last question, number 16. The last question, number 16. So 5, 10, 15, 16. Last question, 16. How important are people to you? How important is to have, you know, a lifelong partner or your family or close friends or anything like that? So how important are people to you? Okay? It's kind of a, you know, emotional question, but it's a pretty important one to respond to at this point. Okay? So once again, this is Photography Your Way, and that's the book. I'm recording a video right now, hang on. Okay, so that's the book, Photography Your Way by Chuck Delaney. Okay, and there's the ISBN number. I think it'll focus up. There it goes. If you're interested in looking at this, I'll be doing a couple of other pages out of this book during the course of the semester. Okay? All right. See you later. Bye.